And she recited it to me, and I thought, this is great, this is my language, because I normally spoke Scots, living in the country, and we automatically, I think at that time, used 3 different languages. I mean, we had a language that we spoke with our relatives. We had a language that we spoke with our friends, and then we had the language that we were supposed to speak in school.
Yeah. At the school it would be English, but the poetry that Willie Soutar
The poetry was a real Scots, nothing funny about it, nothing made up about it. It is very natural. I mean, there's 1 or 2 odd words that I maybe wouldn't normally use, but it all is very familiar.
So it felt very comfortable straight away. It was the language of your home. And
What I would speak with my relatives would be sort of their normal, slightly older Scots than people got punished. They got the belt if they spoke. Well, I don't think that happened with us. If somebody used Scots, well, the teachers were Scottish and they would accept it, but you were not encouraged to use it.
You kind of knew.
The parents of my parents' generation, they tended to say, now when you're at school you must speak proper. So, speak proper.
Aye. So the poetry was immediately attractive to you.
Oh yes, very.
Yes. And opening up a few new words, because I believe...
Not that I got to know a lot of it. I knew that verse that Mary had. And I knew that there was this poet, and I knew he was bedridden. But I didn't really have access to any more of his poetry. And even by the time I was at university, now that would be he died in what, 1943 or thereabouts?
Yeah.
Well, there were things appearing there was a bookshop that had things in the window. Funny, the one I remember is not mentioned in my book of Soutar's poetry, but it was called Antrin Blads. Now, Antrin is not a word you hear nowadays. It means occasional, or okay. Yes, I can think of my father saying, "Well, all right, don't eat all the strawberries, but you can take an antranine."
Right.
Hugh McDermott uses it wrongly. But Antrin Blads, now a blad is a blade, but I think it just meant occasional poems, occasional things. They were small books and they wouldn't have cost very much, but I was hard up and I wasn't going to be buying something that I didn't really know what I wanted. And I've often regretted that, because they might be worth something nowadays, because they would be the early ones.
When would that have been?
That would be in about 1940, probably 43, just before or just after he died.
And whereabouts would that have
in
been?
Perth.
In Perth, here in Perth, the books were sold in the shops.
It was a shop called Ingalls, I think, but